Why, hello there, you old loony toony. I hear about town you're a gosh darn member of Gen Z, and pardon me, sorry, but why aren't you busting fat loads no more? The white race is dying, don't you know? That was a flawless and also culturally sensitive tribute to the Canadian people, and simultaneously a reference to today's other topic, which is of course falling birth rates and their disastrous effects on Western civilization. Hi, I'm Steve Vongino, and this is the Vongino Predicament, the only independent journalism available on the internet. I'm not afraid to critique both sides, no matter how mad it gets libs and/or 19-year-old two-semester lesbians. I'm a moderate centrist. Some call me a milquetoast fence sitter. And today we're going across the pond to jolly old Canada. That's right, maple syrup, Wayne Gretzky, double-decker bus, etc. Many say God save the Queen, but what about the Prime Minister? They have a new one, and I've been informed he's a darn radical lib. So presumably he's a communist and also a gay communist. But the important thing is that this is not Donald Trump's fault. I am right in the middle on Donald Trump, but he does remain innocent of all charges, unless having a bold vision and a kind heart are crimes, which they probably were under the Biden administration. We'll tell you all about how the vote shook down up in the Great White North, which is becoming less and less white every year. And I'm not talking about global warming. That was made up by trans people and also the Scottish to normalize kilt wearing. No, I'm talking about birth rates. They're plummeting, and the question simply must be asked, where do babies come from? Producer Nancy Mom was going to tell me once, but on her way to grab a VHS tape that was labeled Me and Phil Donahue, Ramada Inn 1987, she slipped and fell onto a bottle of Listerine, which she drank, and when she woke up, she didn't know who I was. That was a very, very traumatic Christmas 2023. Anyway, we're going to learn a lot today, so buckle up, because the show starts right on the drop. Hello and welcome to the Vongino Predicament. Why are you not currently having sex? Not in the mood? Ate too much sushi? You're honoring the Sabbath? I don't want to hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, especially the gentlemen, we are running out of babies. There used to be a time in this country and also in various European countries where they didn't have birth control, but they did have 7 months of paid vacation a year, and the wooden clog slipped off real fast when you played a little smooth flugelhorn music, if you catch my drift. When babies roamed the land. We used to have so many babies in this country, we didn't know what to do with them. Cut back to 1982 or 1930 or really any time up until mid-1994. Science doesn't know why, but somehow the OJ trial had a lot to do with this, and now no one is having babies. Birth rates have absolutely cratered from a high of 17 births for every 3 women, but to be fair, we had a lot of Irish immigrants really screwing up the averages there. We are down to a low of only 9 births per every 2 women, but we now have a lot of Mexican women messing up the averages. So at the end of the day, we both need to create more beautiful, precious babies. And also, we need to outlaw math. It sucks. The vast majority of my viewers are, according to statistics, which have never once lied, boys around the age of 12 or 84. Not between, exclusively those 2 ages. So if you're one of the 84-year-olds, you don't need to listen to this. You've already done all of the breeding required of you. Now, if you want to continue doing a variety of science experiments to try and get your dick to work again, I'm not going to stop you, and please share your findings. But this message is mostly for the young bucks. Listen up, boys. Your body is going to be changing rapidly. You're going to start growing hair in strange places, namely your ball sack and asshole, easily the strangest places there are. You also, ironically, won't grow hair in any of the places you want. Your mustache is going to look like shit. Don't even bother. And most importantly, you're going to start having strange impulses around pretty girls. And let me tell you something. You need to act on all of those impulses immediately. If I can convey one message to my young male audience, it is, obviously, take a picture of your mom's credit card, both sides, and mail it to the vonginopredicament@gmail.com. But if I can convey 2 messages, I would say this. You should never wear a condom. It feels so much worse, and it's basically an abortion. Now, only exceptions to this rule are A, smuggling heroin up your butt, and B, if you want to jack off into the condom just to see how much you produce. But fair warning, you will be wildly disappointed. And young women, if you're watching this, just chill out, okay? Y'all out there saying you won't have sex with a man just because he has a, quote, Fortnite attitude, or he did, or maybe didn't yell chicken jockey at the right time in the Minecraft movie, or maybe, just maybe, he has some pretty simple, very normal, paleo-ultra-nationalistic views towards women speaking or, thinking. Well, let me tell you this. You aren't getting any younger. 13-year-old girl who just had her first period and is now crying at a TJ Maxx. Wife it up. And Canadians of all ages and of one of only two genders, if you're watching this, let me just say, so very sorry about the downfall of your country. You have about 3 or so weeks until everything is like a Frozen and also very polite Mad Max. Earlier this week, I think it was on Monday, or as Canadians call it, Indigenous Peoples Remembrance Day, sorry about that, they held an election in Canada. The two candidates on the ballot were Pierre Poilievre, who is kind of like their Trump, and also Rick Carney, who, as I understand it, is a Satanist pedophile. Allegedly. I cannot stress this enough. Allegedly. Liberal Rick Carney ended up winning by less than 10 million votes, which I think is half the population of Canada. Also, they do like seats up there, so it's not just like, you win or you lose. He has to win a bunch of seats, and then those seats have to nominate him, and then also the Queen's ghost has to sign off on it. I'm not entirely sure how it all works, and I'm absolutely not going to be learning, but one must ask, was this entire election stolen and/or rigged stolen? As my loyal viewers know, I have never been on the election was stolen train. I mean, sure, in 2020, I might have had some videos that I called, Trump can still win, or Trump is absolutely going to win. Take out your entire life savings and put it on that, or this election has absolutely been stolen. Gee, I'm sure glad I can say that now. I hope YouTube never changes up any rules. But I've always been skeptical at the absolute most of the overwhelming vote lead that Joe Biden accumulated, despite obvious evidence that this supposed vote lead, of course, hurt Donald Trump's feelings. So I'm not wading into the crystal clear waters of the Canadian election saying it's been stolen, because we just don't have any evidence of that. If any evidence is sent to me, or just, like a $30 Venmo payment with a Canadian flag attached to it is sent to me, I might change my tune. But until then, we just need to ask questions. Questions like, what the hell happened? In November of 2024, the Democratic Party of America suffered the most brutal, humiliating defeat since Greg Louganis hit his balls on a diving board. They were wiped clean off the earth, eradicated. The Democratic Party, not his balls. Earth salted so that no communist trees might ever springeth forth again. And all of that makes it even more impressive how at fault Joe Biden still is for everything currently going wrong. But Canada rejected their chance to have a change agent come in and recover their system from Justin Trudeau's disgusting policies to raise taxes and increase crime, and also teach all little boys to pee sitting down and teach little girls to poop standing up. Gross. The issue is that the Canadian people are all, every man, woman, and now trans child, completely brainwashed by the lying media being shoved down their throat by our immortal enemy, the mainstream media. Ugh. And listen, many have asked, Steve, now that you've been in the White House press pool, aren't you a member of the mainstream media? First off, never speak to me again. I hate your voice. But secondly, yes, and I give myself a vigorous spanking every day like Paul Bettany in the Da Vinci Code. Paul Bettany, he played the weird albino priest in the Da Vinci Code, right? I guess I could just look that up. I don't know, man. I feel like we're kind of getting off the topic here. Point is, the Canadian people were manipulated by their mainstream media into believing a series of hoaxes, such as the 51st state hoax, where Donald Trump said he wanted to invade Canada and make it part of America. No, all he said was, if anyone orders a Canadian pizza, I'll pay half. There's also the Girly Men hoax, where they claimed Donald Trump called all Canadians gay and all French Canadians pedophiles. Or, of course, the Maryland Man hoax, where the disgusting and quite frankly debased mainstream media claimed that an obviously Hispanic MS-13, maybe even 14, gang member was in fact from Maryland, or was a man. Now who's presuming whose gender, mainstream media? So Pierre Poilievre, and with a name like that, he should be the leader of the Quebec Avengers, has lost. And people are trying to blame Donald Trump like he had anything to do with it. You know what you sound like when you're whining? Ew, we didn't win. We lost. Wah, wah, wah. A, you sound like a baby. And they have incredibly tiny dicks, so that's embarrassing. And B, you sound like a woman. And they have the tiniest dicks of all. Nothing is guaranteed to you in this world. Do you think I was just handed this YouTube channel? No shot. Well, actually, a bit of a shot. So producer Nancy Mom did create the whole thing and then sat me down and told me to start talking. I asked for further instructions, and she just took out a knife and yelled, "Pretend this is a gun!" And I kind of figured it out from there. But it took hours of talking and also trying to buy Russian bots and somehow pressing the wrong buttons and ending up with a mail-order bride that robbed me in order to get where I'm at right now. That's right, baby. Still not monetized. So take my advice, Canadian Conservative Party that's probably called like the Jolly Beavers or some shit. You need to own your failure here. Take it in, swallow it. Yummy, failure. And you need to accept that you need someone who more closely aligns with Trump's values and policies. And also is on TV. Point is, Ottawa's own Dan Aykroyd is your best bet to eventually win and deport all of your immigrants, who I assume are from Denmark. Oscar nominee Dan Aykroyd, Driving Miss Daisy, 1989. Look it up. He's charming. He's an entrepreneur. He has sold literally millions of glass skulls full of vodka to ironic hipsters and/or people doing rituals of some kind. And if he's elected, we will finally get to the bottom of all this UFO business. We never did find out what those were, did we? Oh, they're all MS-13 gang members. Huh. Well, solves that mystery. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We had fun today. This is dropping on Friday, the 2nd of May, I think. I'm recording it on a date. Don't worry about it. But when I'm recording it tomorrow, it's gonna be May. Listen, on May 3rd, which is a Saturday, I think I'm gonna be doing a live stream. So check that out on this very channel. I'm also on Slack. I'm also on Rumble. I'm on all that good shizen. You can see down there, I've got my social media links. Like and subscribe. Did I already say like and subscribe? I don't think I did. Like and subscribe. I got my links down there, so you can hit me up on x.com, a website that's always been called that, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, Patreon.com, baby. Patreon.com/The Von Gino Predicament. For only $5 a month, you get exclusive bonus content. You get an extra weekly video. You get behind the scenes footage. You get to vote in polls. And you get, and this is maybe the best gift of all time, you get an executive producer credit, guys. Oh my God, the names are coming up, and at the same time, my eye kind of itches. So I'm going to scratch my eye while the names come up. Oh, that's satisfying. Oh, that's powerful. Oh, I'm a big fan of that, dude. Whatever you're doing, if you're listening to this right now, scratch your... Oh, now I can't see. Oh, no, I'm blind. Oh, God, I've gone blind. Oh, God. Sight blind. Sight blind. Sight blind. What do we say I end this episode and we all move on with our days? I end it, and you finished it, and you've completed your mandatory Von Gino Predicament viewing for this week. All right, guys. I love you so much. Got more stuff coming your way right soon. And until next time...
Wait, Canada's real? I thought we made that up for the Strange Brew movie.
Shut up and sit down.